I trusted them. I let them in. My heart was open, my soul raw. They promised loyalty, but instead, they shattered me. They turned their backs when I needed them most, leaving me broken, alone. I can still feel the sting, the weight of their betrayal pressing on my chest, suffocating me. How could I have been so blind? Flashbacks flash before my eyes. Laughter, shared dreams. Those quiet moments where I thought we were invincible. But it was all a lie. Their smiles twisted into knives, each word, each look a dagger aimed at my trust. I was nothing but a fool, wasn't I? They watched as I crumbled, and all they did was stand there, silent, indifferent. The ones I loved, the ones I thought would never betray me, did just that. And now I'm left with nothing but rage and regret. I ask myself, trembling with anger, my voice low and guttural, why should I regret it? Why should I mourn the warrior I've become? They took everything from me, and now it's my turn. The descent, the fall into darkness, emotion, grief, frustration, growing rage. Key points. The protagonist's internal struggle begins. They are no longer simply a victim of betrayal, but are starting to recognize their weakness and begin to transform. This phase is marked by pain and disillusionment. They no longer want to be the person they were before. The moment of breaking and acceptance of their new path. The journey of vengeance begins to take shape. The betrayal still burns in my veins like a fire that refuses to die. Every time I close my eyes, I see their faces. Those who promised me everything and gave me nothing. The more I think about it, the deeper it cuts, the angrier I become. I was weak. I thought I could trust them, thought I could love them, thought they would stand by me. But I was wrong. Flashbacks, moments of laughter, warmth, promises that now feel like a cruel joke. I let them in, let them destroy me from the inside out. But as I stand here now, feeling the rage seethe through my chest, I realize something. I was weak, and I can never let myself be that again. The anger is no longer just a wound. It's growing. It's taking shape. It's turning into something bigger, something dangerous. I don't need to wallow in the pain anymore. I don't need to cry over the broken pieces of who I was. What I need is vengeance. The betrayal was my breaking point, but it was also the spark, the fire that was lit inside me. At first, it was flickering, weak. But now it's starting to burn. My body aches from the weight of it, from the years I wasted trusting those who never deserved it. I will not be weak again. I refuse to be that person. Images flash in my mind. Broken relationships, people turning their backs, the silence of abandonment. I walk alone now, but it's different. The silence isn't empty anymore. It's mine. I don't care about the world that was. I don't care about the people who left me behind. All I care about now is the monster I will become. I will let this darkness consume me, let it fuel me until there's nothing left but power. The echoes of my former self scream in the back of my mind. You're better than this. You're more than this. But they don't get to decide who I am anymore. I am no longer the victim. I am no longer the broken one. I am the one who will break everyone who ever doubted me. This is where it starts. The descent into darkness. And I won't stop until everything they've built is in ruins. I close my eyes, and in the darkness, I hear the first whispers of vengeance. I will make them regret the day they ever crossed me. The rebirth, forging the warrior. Emotion, rage, empowerment, hunger for vengeance. Key points. The protagonist begins their transformation into a warrior. They embrace the pain and use it as fuel for their physical, mental, and emotional strengthening. The transition from victim to predator becomes evident here as they relentlessly train, honing their skills. The rebirth is a brutal, no-holds-barred process where the protagonist becomes something far more dangerous. This section marks the physical and emotional metamorphosis that propels them toward their ultimate goal of revenge. The fire inside me burns hotter now, no longer fueled by sorrow, but by a hunger. I don't just want revenge, I need it. I need to feel their fear, see the terror in their eyes when they realize who I've become. Every drop of sweat, every bruise, every wound, they all remind me of what I was. Weak, vulnerable, and I will never be that again. The sound of fists pounding against a heavy bag, the thud of booted feet hitting the ground, blood mixing with dirt as my hands tear through the training gear. No mercy, no hesitation, just pure, unrelenting violence. I train, not for victory, but for destruction. I have no use for the kind of power that can be wielded through kindness, through diplomacy. That version of me is dead. Gone. Now I fight for something darker. I fight to rip through the world like a storm, to erase everything that has ever stood in my way. Images flash of broken wood, cracked stone. Each strike I make leaves its mark on the world, a testament to my transformation. I push myself further, harder. My muscles strain, my bones ache, but I keep going. It's like this body, this shell that was once so fragile, is finally becoming something capable of breaking the world apart. The warrior inside me is emerging. My fists are sharper now, my mind clearer. The rage that once consumed me is now a weapon, and I am its master. The memories of my betrayal still linger, but they no longer hurt. They no longer weaken me. Instead, they drive me forward. They remind me why I can't stop, why I can't feel guilt. The sound of steel ringing through the air, my hand gripping the hilt of a sword, feeling the power surge through the blade. training with a ferocity that even I didn't know I had. I feel the warrior within me take shape. The man I was, he's dead. The man who trusted, who loved, who let himself be deceived by those who didn't deserve him, is gone. In his place, a monster, a predator, a force of nature. And I will use every ounce of pain, every drop of sweat, every scar inside and out to forge the perfect weapon. I'm not afraid anymore. I don't care about their judgment, their pity. I care about revenge. With each swing, with each movement, I can feel it. Power coursing through me, becoming me. Until there's nothing left but the rage and the hunger for what I've lost and what I will take back. This isn't a journey of healing. This isn't about becoming a better person. This is about becoming unstoppable. This is about becoming the warrior I was always meant to be. The call to war, the first strike. Emotion, confidence, anticipation, thirst for revenge. Key points. The protagonist is ready. The transformation is complete, and they now embrace their newfound power. The anticipation for vengeance grows into a palpable hunger. This marks the moment when the protagonist steps into the world, leaving the shadows of their training behind and preparing to confront their enemies. There is no hesitation, only a deep, bone-chilling certainty that their time has come. The wait is over. For so long, I was a shadow, lurking in the dark, gathering strength. But now I am the storm. My body, my mind, my soul are all weapons. I've trained. I've fought against my own fears, against my weaknesses. And now, I'm ready to destroy everything. The first taste of the battlefield is close. I can feel the electricity in the air, the tension hanging like a blade just waiting to fall. They have no idea what's coming. They think I'm still the same. They think they've won. They think they're safe. But they've forgotten one thing. I am no longer that person. I am no longer weak. I am vengeance incarnate, and I will tear through their world like a firestorm. Images flash of the enemy, the faces of those who wronged me. But now they're no longer people. They're targets. Their names mean nothing. Only the destruction they will face matters. Every step I take is measured, calculated. My hand tightens around the grip of my weapon. My heart doesn't race. It beats like a war drum, steady, purposeful. There is no hesitation, no uncertainty. I've become the thing they fear in their nightmares. The time for talking is over. The time for justice has passed. Now it's time for war. I stand tall, the silhouette of a warrior emerging from the shadows. The world quakes beneath me as I take my first step into their domain. My purpose clear: revenge, domination, and the utter annihilation of everything they hold dear. I walk with the confidence of a predator. They will not see me coming. They will not know what hit them. This is not a battle. This is the reckoning. And when they hear my name, When they realize who I've become, they will know fear like they've never known it before. The first blow is coming, and when it lands, nothing will ever be the same. I am the storm, and they are the ones who have been waiting to be swept away. The confrontation, facing the betrayers, emotion, fury, triumph, disdain. Key points. The protagonist comes face to face with those who betrayed them. The moment is charged with an intense mix of hatred, satisfaction, and raw power. The protagonist has no fear. They are the apex predator now. The betrayers are no longer worthy of their past connection. Now they are nothing but obstacles to be destroyed. The protagonist's eyes are cold, their voice laced with disdain as they watch their former allies crumble in the face of their newfound power. There they are, the ones who once stood beside me, who whispered sweet lies in my ear, promised me loyalty, and turned their backs when I needed them most. Now they stand before me, looking as weak, as pathetic as I remember. They thought I was nothing. They thought they could break me. The room is thick with tension. They don't know it yet, but their doom is standing right in front of them. I can see the hesitation in their eyes, the slight tremor in their voices as they try to pretend everything is still normal. They don't realize that I am not the person they left behind. I am a different beast now. A monster. Do you recognize me? I ask, my voice low, dripping with disdain. Or have you forgotten the face of your own destruction? They shuffle, nervous, unsure. But I see it. The guilt, the fear, creeping into their eyes. They thought they had won. They thought they could walk away from the wreckage they caused. But they were wrong. So wrong. I don't need their apologies. I don't need their explanations. They don't get the luxury of that. They're not even worth my anger anymore. They're just targets, and I'm the one who's going to end their pathetic existence. They were once my family, my friends, the ones I trusted with my soul. But now they're nothing. I step closer, my shadow looming over them. They try to speak, try to defend themselves, but their words fall flat, weak, desperate. They are terrified, and I can taste it. I can feel their fear in my bones, and it fuels me. Their betrayal didn't break me, it made me stronger. And now, they will pay. You thought you could break me, I sneer. But look at me now. Look at what you made me. They were never strong enough to stand beside me. They were never worthy of the trust I gave them. And now, they will learn the price of crossing me. I raise my hand, signaling that it's over. The silence is deafening. Their fate is sealed and they know it. But they will never get the satisfaction of begging for mercy. That's a luxury I refuse to give them. The air grows thick with the weight of my power, and I know one thing. There is no redemption for them. Not anymore. There's only the destruction I've come to deliver. I will not hesitate. I will not show mercy. They made me this way, and now they will regret it. I pull the trigger, or strike the final blow, and as they fall, there's no satisfaction in my heart, only cold, dark triumph. The betrayers are gone, and I am the one who stands over their broken bodies. I am the storm, and they were just the first to feel its wrath. The bloodbath. Delivering justice, emotion, catharsis, rage, satisfaction. Key points. The protagonist unleashes the full force of their vengeance, wiping out not just the betrayers but everything in their path. The bloodshed is brutal, and every drop spilled is a symbol of the pain they've endured. There's a cathartic release as the protagonist delivers justice on their terms. Their transformation is complete. They are no longer a person, but an unstoppable force of destruction. The lines between revenge and satisfaction blur, and the protagonist becomes more dangerous with each life taken. This is a cleansing fire, and nothing will escape it. I've waited for this moment too long. Each strike, each kill is a release, a purging of the pain that's consumed me for far too long. The blood doesn't disgust me. It doesn't shock me. No, it fuels me. Every drop spilled is one more piece of my past washed away, one more step in my journey to become the monster I was always meant to be. The sounds of chaos fill the air, cries for mercy, the clang of steel, the sickening thud of bodies hitting the ground. Their fear is intoxicating. I can see it in their eyes as they realize what they've unleashed. I am not just a warrior. I am vengeance, and I will burn this world to the ground. They thought they could control me, use me. They thought I would crumble when they turned their backs. But now, they are nothing but cattle, waiting to be slaughtered. I cut through them without hesitation. No mercy, no second thoughts. They made me this way, this monster that knows only destruction. And now, I will give them exactly what they deserve. Each blow is cathartic. The sword in my hand feels like an extension of my fury. Their screams fall on deaf ears. They don't deserve pity. They don't deserve forgiveness. They deserve nothing but death. I see them falling one by one, unable to even defend themselves. They're weak. They've always been weak. And now, they will pay. The world they've built crumbles with every body that hits the ground. They tried to destroy me, to shatter me. But I am a force of nature now, unstoppable. And the world they've built, the lies, the manipulation, the betrayal, will burn in the wake of my vengeance. I take my time. I make sure they understand, each one of them, what it means to cross me, to underestimate me, to think I was ever weak. Their world is falling apart. They know it. They can feel it. But there's no escape, no hope. With every life I take, I cleanse myself of the past. Each body that falls before me is a reminder of what they tried to do and what I've become. This isn't about survival. It's about destruction. I will burn it all. I will leave nothing behind. The pain, the betrayal, it's all gone, replaced by the fire of vengeance that courses through my veins. And when the blood stops flowing, when the last scream fades into silence, I'll stand there, surrounded by the ruin I've created, knowing this. They tried to break me, but I am the one who stands victorious. There's no turning back now. This is the end of them, the end of everything they ever knew. And I am the one who brought it all crashing down. The aftermath, standing over the ruins, emotion, victory, emptiness, supremacy. Key points. After the bloodshed, the protagonist stands victorious, but there's no true sense of satisfaction, only a haunting emptiness. The revenge was completed, but it didn't fill the void. The protagonist now fully comprehends that their vengeance has come at a cost, perhaps not in lives, but in their own humanity. The world is broken, and so are they. This moment is a reflection on the hollow nature of revenge and the reality of what they've become. A monster who's consumed everything, even themselves. It's over. The blood has dried. The screams have died down. And now, silence. The ground is littered with the bodies of those who thought they could destroy me. Their faces are frozen in terror, their eyes wide with disbelief that they could be the ones to fall. And yet here they lie, defeated, broken. But as I stand over their wreckage, I feel nothing. Victory tastes bitter in my mouth. They tried to take everything from me. They tried to destroy the person I was, to erase the soul that once existed in me. And I was willing to burn everything to the ground to get it back, to make them pay. But now that it's done, what have I gained? I look around at the ruins, the destruction, the world I once knew, the world that I fought to rebuild through vengeance, lies in smoldering ashes around me. And in the midst of it all, I feel no relief, no satisfaction. This wasn't a battle, this wasn't justice. It was a cleansing fire that burned through my past, through my soul. And now I'm standing in the ashes. But what's left? I raise my hand, blood still fresh on my skin. The remnants of the people who thought they could use me, betray me, and break me are nothing but dust now. But I don't feel like a conqueror. I feel like a ghost. I've won. I've destroyed everything they held dear. I've taken back my power. But in doing so, I've lost a piece of myself. The person I once was, they're gone. The warrior who stood in the face of betrayal, destroyed along with the ones who betrayed me. The wind blows softly across the battlefield, the only sound in the stillness. It carries away the last of the bloodied smoke, leaving only the silence of what I've done. I'm no longer the victim. I'm no longer the man they abandoned. But I'm not sure who I am anymore. The blood, the bodies, the violence, it's all behind me now. But as I stand over their broken world, the weight of what I've become starts to settle in. I'm a weapon. I'm a force of nature. But I'm also empty. What happens now? What comes after the war is won? There's nothing left to destroy. There's no one left to fight. I stand alone in the ruins of my revenge, staring at the remnants of a world I've burned to the ground. And for the first time I realize something. I've become the very thing I swore to destroy. A monster. A beast forged in the flames of betrayal and vengeance. And I am the one who is left to pick up the pieces of what remains, which is nothing. Nothing but me. And the emptiness that I carry with me. The legacy. A new empire rises. Emotion. Resolve. Dominance. Acceptance. Key points. The protagonist now accepts their transformation and the consequences of their actions. No longer burdened by remorse, they begin to forge their own path forward. The destruction they've caused is no longer a source of emptiness, but the foundation for something new. A ruthless empire built on power, fear, and control. The protagonist embraces their role as the leader of a new world, one where they stand at the top, above the ruins of their past, untouched by regret or humanity. The cycle of vengeance has ended, but it has paved the way for the protagonist's new rule. The smoke clears, the silence becomes deafening, and for the first time since this nightmare began, I can see clearly. The battlefield is barren now, the echoes of screams fading into history. But in that silence, something shifts. I feel it. Something new. A hunger. A drive. Not for vengeance anymore, but for power. I have destroyed everything. I've burned down the world that betrayed me, the world that thought it could break me. But now, I see the opportunity in the ruins, the ashes, their fertile ground, and from them, I will rise. I look around at what's left of their world. Broken, destroyed, but in this destruction I see the future. My future, the future of a new empire. I could walk away now, leave the ashes to blow in the wind. But what would I be then? Nothing. Just a man with no purpose, no legacy. I've already lost my soul. The person I was is long gone. But what's left now? A force of nature. A weapon that can shape the world as I see fit. I stand tall, the weight of my choices settling into my bones. I am not a hero. I am not a savior. I am something darker, something more powerful. And now, I will build an empire. An empire where I reign as the unquestioned ruler. No more betrayals. No more weakness. The people who once stood by me, they're gone. The ones who thought they could break me, They're ashes now. But the ones who remain, they will follow me. They will serve me. They will tremble at the sound of my name, and they will understand the price of crossing me. I feel the power surging inside me, an unrelenting tide that cannot be stopped. I am the storm. I am the king of this new world. I will not apologize for what I've done. I will not mourn the destruction I've caused, because in the wreckage I see only opportunity. The world I've broken is mine to rebuild, and I will build it with iron, fire, and blood. I take my first step toward the future, my empire forming in the shadows of the past. The rules have changed. The weak will fall, and the strong, those who bend the knee and serve me, will live in the kingdom I will create. There's no more revenge, no more anger, only power, only supremacy. And as I stand over the ashes of everything I once knew, I realize this is not the end. This is only the beginning. I am the one who survived. I am the one who built this empire from the ruins of my past, and I will reign forever. The price of power, the hollow throne. Emotion, despair, realization, isolation. Key points. The protagonist's empire grows, but so does the emptiness inside them. Their reign is unchallenged, their power absolute, yet they begin to sense the crippling loneliness that comes with total domination. They've won the world, but at the cost of their soul, their humanity, and their connection to everything that once made them who they were. The throne is theirs, but it feels hollow, a prison more than a victory. The realization dawns that no amount of power can fill the void that vengeance created. The protagonist faces the terrifying truth that they are alone, and perhaps that was the price of their ambition. I stand at the summit of it all. The world is mine now. My empire is vast, an unyielding fortress of fear and obedience. Every command I give is followed without question. My name is whispered in terror, my power feared beyond measure. And yet, is this what I fought for? I used to think that vengeance would be the key, that once I had destroyed everything, once I had leveled the playing field and taken back what was stolen from me, I would feel whole again. But now that I sit on this throne, alone, I understand the truth. The blood I've spilled, the lives I've taken, they're nothing but a chain that binds me to this empty seat. This power is not freedom. It's a cage. I look out over the expanse of my kingdom, but all I see is silence. The faces that once looked to me with hope, with trust, now only look at me in fear. They worship me, but they do not love me. They obey, but they do not care. I thought that revenge would fill the hole inside me. I thought that if I just crushed everything that betrayed me, if I just wiped the world clean of those who wronged me, I would be free. But this throne, this empire, It's a tomb. I walk through the cold halls of my palace, the silence pressing in on me like a weight. There are no voices, no laughter, no warmth. Just the echo of my footsteps in a world I've conquered but can never truly own. I've lost everything that mattered. I am surrounded by people, yes, but I am alone. And the worst part, I don't know if I even remember how to feel anything anymore. I've built this empire on the bones of my enemies, on the ashes of everything I loved. But now I realize it was all for nothing. The weight of the crown feels heavier than ever. I want to tear it off, throw it down, but I can't. I've become the thing I swore I'd never be, the tyrant, the ruler who sits on a throne of broken dreams and shattered souls. The power is mine. But what is it worth? I stand at the top of the world, but I am still drowning. I have everything, and yet I have nothing. The silence is deafening, and in the quiet, I finally hear it. The truth I've been avoiding. I can destroy the world, but I cannot rebuild myself. I can rule an empire, but I cannot repair the soul I've sacrificed for it. And now, I am left with nothing but this hollow throne. A king without a kingdom of meaning. A ruler who commands the world, but has no place in it. And I realize, this is the price of power. This is the price of becoming a monster. The fall, the unraveling of a king. Emotion, regret, decay, defeat. Key points. The protagonist, now fully aware of the void they've created within themselves, begins to feel the empire unravel. The absolute power they once relished starts to rot from the inside. The cost of their ambition is made clear. The betrayal of their own soul, the erosion of their humanity, and the inevitable collapse of everything they built. The protagonist can no longer escape the truth. They are a king in name only, trapped in the very empire they thought would set them free. The walls close in, and the realization sets in that they have become a prisoner of their own making, slowly consumed by the very thing that gave them power. The cracks are showing. The empire I built, my empire, begins to crumble beneath the weight of its own tyranny. At first, it was imperceptible. Small rebellions, whispers of discontent in the corners of my kingdom. I ignored them, thought they were nothing but noise, mere insects beneath my boots. But now they're becoming too loud to ignore. I sit upon this throne, but it feels more like a prison. The very walls that I thought would protect me from everything now close in on me, suffocating me. And with every passing day, I feel the walls crack a little more. The empire is decaying. I try to ignore the voices, the discontent that grows louder with every decision I make. But I can hear them now, my enemies, my allies, even the people I thought I had crushed beneath my will. They're rising again, rising from the ashes I thought would keep them buried forever. I ruled with an iron fist, I burned everything, and for a while I felt unstoppable. But now I see the truth. I was never meant to be a king. I've become the monster I feared, the tyrant I swore I'd never be. And now, my own empire is crumbling beneath the weight of my mistakes. The throne feels colder than ever. The weight of the crown, once so glorious, now feels like a curse. The empire I built with blood and fire is nothing more than a hollow shell, held together by the lies I told myself and the fear I instilled in others. My enemies are not just outside the gates. They are in my own heart. The people I betrayed, the soul I abandoned, the humanity I sacrificed. All of it is rising up to tear me apart. I thought I could control it. I thought I could be the master of this world. But what I didn't realize was that this world, this empire, it was never meant to be mine. I've lost control, and I am losing myself. I look out over the city I conquered, the broken streets, the faces of my people who no longer see me as a ruler. They see a monster, a dictator, a ghost of the person I once was. I tried to rule with fear. I tried to build something from the ashes. But in the end, what I've built is nothing but a tomb. I see it now. The consequences of my choices. The price I've paid for my ambition, for my vengeance. The crown feels heavier than ever. The blood that stained my hands, the destruction I've wrought. It's all coming back to haunt me. I am not a king. I am not a conqueror. I am just a man, alone in a world I destroyed. And now everything I built is slipping through my fingers like sand. The fall has begun, and I know there is no coming back. The empire is crumbling, and so am I. The last stand, embracing the end. Emotion, acceptance, finality, resolve. Key points. With the realization that their empire is collapsing, the protagonist decides to face the inevitable. The weight of their actions is too great to ignore, and the world they built is now irreparable. Instead of running from the consequences, they embrace the destruction they've created. There is no more fight left in them, only the acceptance that they are the architect of their own downfall. The protagonist's final act is not one of defiance or power, but of surrender. Surrender to the consequences of their choices. They are not a king, not a ruler, but a man who must face the consequences of his own making. The end is here. I can feel it. The empire is dying. The walls are crumbling. The people who once feared me now rise against me, not with weapons, but with the truth. They see me for what I am, a broken man, a failed king. I stand in the heart of it all, surrounded by the ruin of everything I once fought for, everything I once believed in. There is no victory to be had. There is no empire to salvage. There's nothing left but this hollow throne and the blood I've spilled to get here. I wanted to conquer the world. I wanted to be remembered as a legend, a god among men. But legends are just stories, and gods are nothing but mortals in disguise. I look around at the faces of my enemies, those who once bowed before me, now standing tall. The tables have turned, and I am no longer the predator. I am the prey. I spent so long running from my past, from the pain, from the betrayal. But now I understand the truth. You can't outrun what you've become. You can't outrun the consequences of your own actions. The empire I built on blood and vengeance is nothing more than ashes now. I thought I could fill the void inside me with power, with fear, with control. But all I've done is create more emptiness. The crown feels heavier than it ever has. The weight of my choices, the cost of my ambition. It's all crashing down on me now. I built this, I destroyed it. And now, it's over. There's no escape from this. No more fighting. No more war. No more kingdom to rule. There is only me, standing at the end of everything I've ever known. And for the first time, I see it for what it truly is. Just a man standing alone in the ruins of his own making. I have nothing left. No empire, no army, no allies. Only the remnants of my past, of my choices. And in the silence, in the finality of it all, I make a choice. I will not run. I will not fight anymore. I will face the end. There's no one left to destroy. No one left to betray. I raise my eyes to the heavens, feeling the weight of the world, the weight of my own soul crushing me beneath it. I have lost everything, and I have only myself to blame. So, let it end. Let the world burn. Let the kingdom crumble. I built this. I destroyed this. And now, I will face the consequences. No more fights. No more victories. Only the silence of a man who has finally, fully, embraced his fall.